In this section, let's talk about how to set up AI detection zones for a person specific, meaning I want to capture the face so that I can do a face comparison. I also may want to do people attribute, meaning type of clothing, color of clothing, top, bottom, etc. To do that, let's go in and open up the camera. And then we'll go down and hit this gear icon. Now again, we've talked a lot about intrusion or enter area. You notice that in the non-specific, remember we used intrusion because it's a large area, or the target could not make it through that amount of area within that time threshold. So again, even in smaller areas, sometimes you can still utilize intrusion and give it that 1 second time threshold. If that's not possible, then that's when you'd go over to an enter area. So here's a scenario. We've got a very small viewing window. We've got two possible doors from the outside that the target can enter in through. They can come in through this left side here. They can come in from straight in front. Because of some of these blocking the column here, to the poster, to the sign on the door, etc. Because of that, and this door on the left here, you see, this door doesn't open. It's only open randomly. It's actually locked in the closed position. It doesn't open unless you pull the latch from the top. So because of that, I only put the target, the detection zone around this opening here. Now, how do I stop from capturing people from when they walk up the steps, or when it sees them on the left-hand side, or sees them right in here? I do that by, again, using that minimum size. And again, don't be fooled, because this is vehicle. I need to go down and click on pedestrian. And again, once I click on the edit pencil, you'll see I've got a zone drawn here for a minimum size. Now this is going to take people walking in and setting this size and then seeing your results. It may take you a couple of adjustments to get this to where you want it. And again, keep in mind, once it sees the target within this blue defined area, that's going to start the event saying a target is in here. Next, it wants to classify that, right? So I see a person, I walked into the detection zone, and have I met the minimum maximum threshold yet? We know we've met the maximum because the maximum is just the entire image. So they're definitely smaller than that. And then the minimum size, you keep adjusting that until it triggers it when you want it to. Now, one more thing to keep in mind, in this scenario, I'm using intrusion with a 1 second delay, because most people are walking. Nobody's running into this door. They're walking in, and 1 second is plenty. I actually want to try to capture them when they're still right out here in this little vestibule. I want to capture them here. Sometimes it's right when they step around the corner, and then 1/1000, most of my targets are perfectly right here in the dead center of this door. So again, that's going to take that kind of trial and error to, drop it down a little bit, drop it down a little bit. Oops, too small. Now I'm capturing them too far away. And then a couple of tries, you're going to have that down pat. Now again, if that was not the case and you needed to capture them exactly when they fit that criteria, then you're going to have to use that inner area again, because there's 0 time threshold with that. And that's how you're going to accomplish that. So let's go over it in search and let's see what the results are. I'm going to go to search. Let me go ahead and pick the exact site, narrow it down to just the site and just the camera. And search. And what I'm looking for is I want every target to be captured. You see right there in the middle of the doorway. Again, you see obviously they're going away from the camera. That 1 second delay is what's really helping with that. Gives them a chance as soon as they come into the image. They're obviously within that size parameters, but then it waits 1 second so they get into the door. A lot of these other ones, you'll see it waits just as soon as they get in, but it's capturing at that time and really giving me some of those accurate results. Now, because a lot of us use third-party cameras and we have such a large AI compatible list of third-party cameras, I want to show you the same thing settings in that type of camera. To do that again, let's go to the camera. Here I have an OnVIF PTZ camera. You can see quite a bunch of me detected faces, mostly because I'm the only person that comes in here. But let's go to the gear icon. And in the basic settings, you'll know there's no option in here to draw those AI detection zones within Vision. That has to be done within the camera itself. So I have the camera web client pulled up here, and I want to go into that. So again, if the camera has AI compatibility for an intrusion zone, then you can draw an intrusion zone. Just keep note that some cameras in the OnVIF compatibility must use motion in order to get that event. But here you see I've drawn a similar intrusion box. I did go ahead and do a 1 second threshold, etc. Just like the same principles we used previously in order to capture the faces that I want to have.